Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see by the title of this video, it's not going to be a tutorial today. I wanted to do another world showcase. We haven't done one in a while. I can't remember when the last one was actually, but I know I did one about 7 months ago that was sort of like a quick preview. But 7 months, has been a while, and I've done a lot since then. I just want to show off what I've got really, and also make a bit of an announcement as well, which I think some of you will quite enjoy. Those of you who don't enjoy doing the tutorial process are going to enjoy the announcement I've got to make, basically. So yes, we're going to start with Star Wars as per usual, and then do Halo. This time around there is actually some more Halo stuff, like a fair bit more, so I can't wait to show you that. I've actually been kind of balancing out the Star Wars and Halo stuff recently, because in prior years the Halo stuff has always performed about a fifth of the views of what the Star Wars stuff does. Obviously, for me, that makes me question, well, is it worth putting in the time? But then, nowadays, I don't know, it's kind of balanced out a bit more. The Halo stuff still gets, a fair few less views, but it's kind of unpredictable on which ones are going to perform well. So, yeah. Anyway, Star Wars. Nothing really new in the Republic side of things. There's a few that I am going to tutorial soon, but I do need to finish, like, alternate models and stuff, so, like, the ETA class shuttle. I've got a landed mode that I've been working on for a long time. I just need to nail down and finish that, and then I can do that one as a tutorial. So that'll be a nice one. The fighter tank, obviously, we've had this, like, I guess temporary kind of model here for a while. Not totally happy with it, so I will probably remake that at some point. The AV7 was made by Clone 543 or Cloning About. Not sure if I'm going to use this model in particular for tutorial. I may end up remaking it because it has been such a long time since it was made that it might be overdue one now. The Arc 170 as well has been updated slightly. The engines have been changed. They used to be absolutely massive. These ones are a bit smaller. This build in particular is just quite difficult with some of the proportions, basically, so that's why it's taken so long to get a remake. These ones here, I think we did a tutorial on this, but not this one. But I mean, you can literally see it from here, like what you need to do. So I don't know if it's worth it, but let me know if you do want to see it, if you need some help with that, and I might get around to doing it. ATAP we've done, the Z95 we've done, LAAT has been done. The new class, I think that's how you say it anyway. I really did want to do this, and I do quite like this model. The problem is, I don't think it is 18.9 meters long. I think that cannon measurement is wrong. I think it's quite a bit bigger. I think it's around 25 meters long, based on references of, like, I can't remember who it was. But there's an episode, I think, of the Bad Batch where they're climbing into the cockpit of one of these, or it might be the cockpit of the Row class. But they should be the same size cockpit anyway, and it looks quite a bit bigger, and the ramp should be like here, and yeah, there just doesn't seem to be enough room no matter how I do it. So I do think this is about 25 meters. It does say the height on the Wikipedia page is about 24 meters, which I think should be the length, and then maybe the 18.9 should be the height or something, or maybe the width. But yeah, just doesn't seem right to me, so I'm a bit apprehensive about making a tutorial for it, because I just feel like as soon as I do, they're going to change that measurement. And that's the same reason I won't make a larger model, is because I feel like as soon as I do, they're going to then say, oh, actually, no, it's 23 meters, and then my model's wrong. Maybe I'm just being a stickler about it, I don't know. Clone Wars Y-Wing, never done this in one-to-one. This isn't my model, this is, again, Cloning About's model. And again, it has been a while since this was made, so it's probably due a remake. So I will try and do that at some point. ATTE, I think the current model's still fine. I think there's some areas that could be improved. I'm just not sure if it's worth doing an entirely new tutorial for it. But I do look at this and think, there are areas this could be, made better. Especially since doing the 2-to-1, there's like textures on there that aren't on this one, which would be good to add. I might even like cut out the interior part, because there is an interior in this, or at least the space for an interior, but I guess does it really need to be there, because there's nothing in there, so I don't know. And I probably redid the cockpit as well to get rid of these banners. T6 shuttles, probably going to make a new one of this based on the new animated style of it, and also the new a live action version of it, which pretty much look the same. I think this model in particular, it is a bit dated, and you know, the shapes on it aren't amazing. You know, it's very simplistic in a lot of its angles and colours and stuff. I think it is due an update. I'm not sure if I do particularly like the way that they reinterpreted the design in like Tales of the Jedi and stuff, but you know, if it is meant to be representing the exact same ship, then fair enough. It's just obviously a massive departure from what it was. But yeah, and we still haven't done the 2-to-1 model of it, but oh well. ATOT, again with this one, this was one where I, on this occasion, did reinterpret the size, obviously with the new class. I'm kind of toying with that idea. On this one I did. It listed at, I think, 14.3 meters, something like that. But I scaled it up in the same way that the ATT was scaled up, which makes it, I can't remember, like 20 something meters, 24, something like that. Just leaves a load more room. I think it's a lot more realistic, if I can compare myself with it. Yeah, I just think it's a lot better and it's a lot nicer for the build process as well. So yeah. And then the Rogue class shuttle is obviously the same build as the new, but with a longer body and also the top wing. But again, I don't know if it's necessarily this size. I can't remember what it came out as. Obviously, I guess that's 24 meters, so it's probably about the same, 24, 25 meters long. RPG Gamer, I think, is the website, says it's about 40, so I don't know. I honestly do not know if that's right. There's a lot of confusing and conflicting ideas about the size of this thing, so yeah. This is the, I can't remember the name, AX, it doesn't even say here anymore actually, but it's a variant of the Juggernaut with like a back section with a rocket launcher on top. Again, this was made by Clone. Don't know if I'll ever remake this. I just like having it here because it's yellow. It's the only yellow thing in this lineup pretty much, apart from the Y-Wing. And the same with the Falchion. I can't remember the full name. But again, like he's made like 4 or 5 of these builds on here, so yeah, nice one, Clone. But this one's pretty cool. I do like this, although it is due a little bit of an update. Might remake the model just so I'm not stealing his work. But I do like what he did here. Really nice work there. LAATC, not really due an update or anything at the present time. I think it's still, you know, fine as it is. Just need to make that 2-to-1 model finally, and then we'll be sorted. And you can see it with the ATTE here. However, I think that might be the old model. I'm not sure. I think so. Maybe. Yeah, I feel like that's an old model. Juggernaut has been updated slightly since the tutorial. Like the back here was squared off before, now it's tapered in. The reason was the original model was based on the Battlefront 2 model, which did have that flat back here, in order to have the stairways go up and have more space here, and there was like seats there as well. But the rest of it is pretty much the same as in Battlefront 2. The doors are symmetrical only because they were copied left to right or right to left when I was copying stuff over. In the actual game, one of the doors is like at the front and then one is at the back. So yeah. And then the Consular frigate, Republic frigate, we'll be looking at making the 115 meter long version of this, the red one from the Phantom Menace. Just need to get my references together. I have started the outline of it, it's just a work in progress at the minute. And I will do a tutorial on that as well when it's ready. That's the 1-to-1 Republic stuff and kind of where we're at. Nothing particularly new. 2-to-1 ATRT is pretty much the same as it's always been since we remade it, which I'm still happy with this at the current moment. Little astromech there as well. Bark Speeder is again pretty much the same. Swamp Speed the same. E2 is the same. V9, yeah, V19 Torrent. Thinking of doing a kind of landed mode for this, or if you want to see this just as this model, please let me know and I will get it out there because it's not a difficult build by any means. So, yeah, V-Wing again with the V-Wing. Always done it in the flight mode. Never done a landed mode for it. If that's something you want to see, please let me know. The fighter tank, yeah, still very happy with this one. Delta 7, fine with this one. Alt 170, been updated slightly in textures since the tutorial, but nothing major. Not worth another tutorial just yet. So that's fine. 80 AP is one of the last 2-to-1 Republic things we've got to make at the current moment. Obviously, as I'm building more stuff on my other world, which we'll get to later. I will get round to this, so yeah, don't worry, it'll come. Z95 again, fine. LAATs we did recently, still fine. The Theta Class T2C, I think, shuttle. I like the body still on this. I'm not sure about the wings, so might do a remake of the wings. And also it needs a landed mode. Although again, if you just want to see it in this form, please let me know. There's like 2 variants of this that I've seen. One, I don't know if it's like the same but with the wings extended, but like one of them, the wings cut off about here, just past where this like ridge area is, or this hole. And then on others, the wings go down to like a point. So I'm not sure which is right. The Republic Y-Wing, again, same as before, nothing's changed there. ATTE, same as before. One thing I will suggest with the ATTE, and I only started doing this fairly recently, but some of these iron bars, if you want to make this a little less messy, just switch some of these iron bars out for light grey stained glass panes. Particularly like just these ones here, this one maybe. I'd say any that are on like a edge like this one right here, leave that as an iron bar, and then these 2 could then become like maybe a red stained glass pane, and then a light grey one there. And then again, leave that one iron bar, but then this middle one would be a pane. If you take off the end ones, then you can kind of see through, and it ruins the shape a little bit. ATOT, yeah, still love this, it's fine. Gaps here are where the old LATC was, and I think some other stuff just got moved over, I don't know. So that's it for the Republic stuff. We'll go to the place called the Shipyards later, and you can see some work in progress things. CIS, nothing new here. This lineup still, you know, is as complete as it was. Tri-Fighter, we did that. The Home Spider Droid, this. General Grievous Starfighter, done that. Vulture Droids, AATs, Hailfire Droid, the Snail Droid, Hyena, the Rogue class, the Octoptara class, the Droid Gunship, I can't say it, Maxillipede or Maximillipede, I can't remember which it is. All the Sheathipede variants, so the standard Trade Federation one from episode 1, the droid controlled version of that with the no pilot, no cockpit. Then you've got the CIS color scheme shuttle, which is actually different in the build. Like, I don't know, you can just see subtle changes here, like these walls there that aren't there. You've got like this slab section on top that was slabs and trapdoors there. The back section has changed a bit. The engines are more embedded into the back section here. And yeah, it's a bit lower down as well. So, and yeah, that's the standard CIS one, and then you've got like the droid controlled CIS one, which is the same, but then you've also got the armed version where the outside bit here is wider, and you've got the guns on there and on the top, and also different markings, and you've just got the standard version of that. There's no droid controlled version of the armed one, and I'm not sure if we ever saw a droid controlled version of that. And then you've got the pre-modified Phantom 2 version of the Sheathipede, which was seen in Star Wars Rebels very briefly before it became said Phantom 2. And then the Sheathipede B. Both MTT variants with the open and the closed, and then the CIS colours as well. So yeah, and then I was also working on a Trade Federation landing craft. However, it's very early days, so yeah, take it with a pinch of salt. Rebel stuff now. Snowspeeder, same as before. The B-Wings. We did that one as a tutorial, and then this one is just a colour scheme swap, basically. And then we have some flight, well, like different rotation versions of it. Not sure if it's worth a new tutorial for that, but yeah, essentially everything is just flipped on its side. So yeah. A-Wings, the standard one, and then the Star Wars Rebels version. the Phantom 1, the X-Wing, both open and closed, Y-Wing, Phantom 2, U-Wing, U-Wing open, Millennium Falcon, which don't think it's due a remake yet. But then we got the Solo Falcon as well, which we haven't done a tutorial on. Probably going to modify the interior a bit, but then I could do a tutorial on that potentially. So yeah, the Ghost, same as before really. It's looking as good as ever really. GR75, still need to do a tutorial on this, but I am probably going to remake it at this point, just because I think I could do a little bit better. And there's the version with no cargo pods. And then the Tantive V4, we've got the landing gear on there now, and the entryway into the actual body. But again, this is probably due a remake since they did change the size of this ship in canon. So yeah, it's gone down from 150 to 126 meters, which will take it to about there, I think. So yeah. Then 2-to-1 Rebel stuff. The Snowspeeder A-Wings again, Phantoms, X-Wings, Y-Wing, Phantom 2, B-Wing. We just have the normal model here, but it's probably due a bit of an update. It's still using cobblestone walls, which I've not used in a long time. U-Wing, just need to finish off that float mode and then I can actually do it, so I don't know why I'm just not doing that. Millennium Falcon, working on a remake of that, ready for a new tutorial. And then the Ghost 2-to-1. You can actually get this now, and again this will link to my announcement later at the end of the video. There will be a timestamp for that, if you want to skip forward to that. But yeah, this model is just packed full of detail. The tutorial is going to be a bit different. Like the last one was very over detailed. It was kind of based on the live action model, but I just went a bit overboard and sometimes a bit creative liberty with the details, and I just didn't need to. Quite a bit shorter than this model as well. This one is like proportionally perfect really, and I'm not sure if this particular model has got the interior. It looks like it. So yeah, there is an interior in here. However, I think the interior won't be in the tutorial. I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to do the tutorial for a while anyway, but I'll work something out. So yeah. And that's basically it for the Rebel stuff. It's a very short lineup, but you know, it does the job. That's like all the key ships you really need. Imperial 1-to-1, TIE Advanced, the Inquisitor version. The size on this is weird. It's meant to be like 3 meters, but it really doesn't seem like it should be. It's like it should be about 5 meters long. But I'm not sure. AT-ST is still fine. I really do wish we had like a grey sign and fences and trapdoors, because well, we do kind of have a grey trapdoor, but not that you can just put here like this, because it is a shame about the colours on this one. The normal TIE Fighter is same as before. I doubt this model's ever really going to change unless they introduce some new blocks. So yeah, like sideways slabs perhaps, that would be nice, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. The Imperial V-Wing, we don't need a separate tutorial for this, it's the exact same build really, it's just in a different colour scheme. AT-DP same as before, TIE Bomber is the same, TIE Defender's the same, the TIE Interceptor is the same. However, I think this is your remake due to the fact that they changed the size of the TIE Interceptor again, back to 9 meters now, so yeah, this one's 12. The police gunship thing, same. Striker same, LAAT but in Imperial colours. Also has the closed off windows and stuff, so yeah, slightly different model there, but I doubt it's ever going to be a separate tutorial. Lambda class, open and shut. I think again this is just like the best it's going to get at the minute. But yeah, fine. ATT with the Imperial colours again. TIE Reaper, still a nice build. Yeah, just fairly happy with that. All 3 AT-ATs which we've done, the AT normal AT-AT, and then the pre-Civil War one, and then the AT-ACT as well. They did change the size of this, however I don't know if I'm going to remake this anytime soon. They made it a lot closer to the standard model in terms of size. Zeta class shuttle, still fine. You could maybe switch some of the stone brick slabs and stairs out to be the deep slate tile ones, but that's up to you really. It's not a major thing. Sentinel class landing craft. I don't know what to do with this because I still don't have any solid references in terms of like orthographic images for all sides of it. In particular, the Rebels model. I can get the orthographics for the other model that was in Legends, but not the current one. And then the Gazanti, I am going to work on a updated version of this based on the Mandalorian and the Bad Batch Season 2. And the Death Star Turbo Laser Tower is going to be available to download as well. But again, it's going to be announced later on. One final thing for the Imperials is the 1-to-1 Quasar Fire class cruiser carrier, which has been a sort of hiatus project for a while. However, I have recently just got back into it, and I've just finished the engine block section, which is looking absolutely insane. So this again will be available for download. Announcement will be at the end of the video. So yeah, just need to finish off the back section and the details. I've got to finish all this front section down here, where the bridge is, and then just other line details and stuff. But yeah, if I had like a day to just focus on it, then I could probably get it done. So yeah, that's that. So on to the Imperial 2-to-1 stuff. Again, TIE Advanced. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8 meters, which is still too long according to what the Wikipedia entry says, which is like 3 meters long. So I again think it's about 4 or 5 meters. But this is sort of due a little remake. I think the wings could maybe curve a little bit more, and I'd probably do a closed mode for it as well. The Mining Guild tie, don't really need a tutorial for it. You just switch all the all the grey materials out for yellow ones, and also just knock out these wing bits here. TIE Advanced we did recently, I'm still happy with this. TIE Fighter, still happy with that. Outland tie, I still don't know if I should do a tutorial on this. It's so similar to the normal tie. Obviously the wings are a separate assembly, but I don't know. Maybe the moment's passed. It's been a long time since the Mandalorian Season 1. So ATST, still fine with this. Don't see myself updating it anytime soon. Same with the ATDP and the Occupier. I can't remember the full name. TX225, is it? Yeah. TIE Interceptor, obviously quite a recent build, so happy with that. TIE Bomber, I did mention this maybe in a showcase or in another tutorial, but with the TIE Bomber, I got rid of a lot of the iron bars on the inside of the wings and replaced them with black stained glass panes. Just makes it look a lot better. Same here with the ones there, just swap them out for light grey stained glass panes. A lot smoother, matches the TIE Interceptor a lot better as well. I just left these ones here as they're part of the support, and these ones here because they're on the outside. These two, still a work in progress mostly. But yeah, the new Imperial Troop Transport, and then the Trexler Marauder as well. Pretty interesting builds, and yeah, hopefully get them finished at some point and get them both out there. There will be a separate tutorials because there's quite a lot of differences. TIE Defender, still very happy with this, looks great. The police gunship again, LAATLE, seen in Rebels. Still needs the tutorial doing, it's just on the list. The troop transport from the Mandalorian, did that recently, and it's proven quite popular, so great. TIE Striker, same as before. Lander, Shuttle, I wouldn't say it's really due a remake yet. I'm still fairly happy with this, even if some of the materials aren't up to date. I'm not really bothered about remaking it anytime soon. AT-80, now I have had this build here for like 3 years now, so I am probably going to remake one final time and then do the new tutorial on it, and then that'll probably be the last 2-to-1 AT-80 tutorial. This one here has been around for the same amount of time pretty much. I doubt I'm going to remake it, despite the fact that the size has changed, like I said, to be a bit closer to this one. But again, I might put this out as an instant download. AT-ACT is pretty much fine. I'm probably going to update some of the materials. I already have, obviously, here with like the deep slate. But I need to do the same for the head. A little bit more deep slate on there. Zeta class shuttle, 2-to-1. Again, just need some more deep slate added. And the Xanthi, I am again remaking to be the Mandalorian version of the ship. But I will definitely go back and remake the Rebels animated model as well, because I like that one just as much. And then you've just got a few miscellaneous like Legends, Imperial stuff, so like the TIE Experimental, Bizarro one, TIE Crawler, I think this is the Experimental Mark III. Might be wrong by that, I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. It's just basically a TIE fighter with massive guns on the side. The TIE, what's it called? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember what it's called. But it's basically like another version of the Crawler. And then the TIE Interdictor or TIE Punisher. Just a TIE Bomber with like 4 of the Ordnance pods. Resistance is looking quite bare. We've got the Y-Wing that we did the tutorial on already. And then like the A-Wing. We haven't done a tutorial on this particular model, I don't think. So that is still due. And then the X-Wings here need remaking by this point. It's just they've been here too long. Same with the T-85, and this is the only one that's actually up to date, which is the not Imperial, sorry, the Inter-System Transport Ship, I think is the name, which is from Galaxy's Edge, and you know it's a pretty interesting thing. Looks like a chubby X-Wing from the back, and I compare that and that, yeah, it pretty much is. So first order, the only one-to-one first order thing is the TIE, which we've already done. But I will be doing a TIE silencer and the first order transport somewhere down the line. It's not like a ongoing project at the minute, but yeah. First order snow speeder thing, still fine. The 2 TIEs here, one with the single seat, and then the other one has 2 seats in there. So I'll do those at some point. Might be the same tutorial, but then split, you know, where you do this as the base model and then modify it to become this one. The TIE Echelon, we've done the Z class, which is spelled XI. Shuttle, cute little thing, very basic shuttle. I didn't even realise that the wings were fixed. They don't fold. They're just like that. So I wouldn't say it's a very effective storage solution is to have wings like that, but yeah, anyway, just a cute little shuttle, quite easy in the shape, and you know, one I wanted to make because of how easy it was. But yeah, it looks nice and it's packed full of detail. So yeah, TIE silencer, same as before. First order transport, same as before. Kylo Ren's shuttle has been here for a long time, so I'm going to try and remake that at some point. But again, it's just another one to add to the list. Same with the ATM-6. Then miscellaneous stuff, nothing new down here. The skiff is fine as it is, really. It's hard to get any detail in something this tiny. Although I would probably add like an iron bar there and there, just to match the 2-to-1 model a bit better. N1 is fine, the Slave 1s are fine, Scimitar is fine, and then the Razor Crest. Only thing I've done with the sail barge is change the colour of the sails to match the 2-to-1 a bit better, but this is probably due a remake at some point, just because I've done the 2-to-1 since then, and like I've learnt a lot more about the shape of the thing. So yeah. 2-to-1 land speeder, still the same, like single seat here. Yeah, the DF9 infantry turret, still the same. The Cloud car might remake a little bit. Well, I mean, if I'm going to remake it, I'm going to do the whole thing, but yeah. It's not bad by any means, but probably before I do the tutorial, I will remake this. The Chela, C-H-E-L-A. It's a, I believe it's a Legends ship now, but it's basically like a goofy Slave 1, as you can see there and there. But yeah, it's interesting. I saw it in Gary's mod first, I think, as part of like a Starfighter pack, and it just intrigued me. It's not a massive ship by any means. It's like very tall, but not very wide or long. So yeah, it's interesting. The skiff is actually the newest thing here. So this was a remake of the previous model, which was a bit wide, a bit flat. So this whole back section has been raised up, the width has been shortened a little bit. And the whole thing is just, you know, better overall. I think this is going to really complement the new sail barge, which I've made, and I've made it with very similar colours, so you can kind of use them as a set, really. So yeah, you got space for a controller here, and you know, plenty of space to just walk around and stuff. So yeah, it's nice. N1's still the same as before. This is Hallian Nark's Sheathpede, which was seen in Star Wars Resistance, which I've never seen, but I liked the model a little bit. They're just going to keep changing the Sheathpede until it becomes completely unrecognizable from what it was in the Phantom Menace. So this particular one is based off the Phantom 2 model, but then the back fin has been trimmed down even more. So the Phantom 2 kind of went, if you follow my cursor, like up there and then down, and kind of like curve around like that. Obviously this one has been tapered backwards here. So yeah, you can like pretty much completely losing that back fin. But yeah, for the rest of it, it is pretty much just Phantom 2 model recolored. Slave ones, fine. Django Fetch you can get instant download now if you go onto the Slave 1 video. So you get that one and that one from the media file link. And then the Boba Fett's one is available to download elsewhere. Again, linked to the announcement at the end. Ebon Hawk, which I believe is a Star Wars Legends ship. I think it was Old Republic. I did know this information when I made it. I just can't remember. I believe it's Old Republic. This is 2-to-1, obviously. You've got the engines back here, which are looking nice. A lot of detail around the sides. And it is asymmetrical, as you could see. So you've got the kind of entryway on the left here. No interior on this. It just wouldn't fit, despite my efforts. But yeah, maybe you could make it work. And then it's just like a sort of tapered one here at the other side. The scimitar, I'm going to add like a folded wings version and landing gear. And then during the tutorial you can have both. So I just need to do that. Razor Crest, they did change the size of this to be 24 meters, I think. This one, hang on, can I check? I should be able to check, hang on. So it's 53 meters, which if you double 24 is 48, so 48, 53, you know, you're 5 blocks off. So it's still, I'd say still the almost the correct size in 2-to-1. A little bit bigger than it should be, but I'd say close enough. It's just that when I made it, it was just an estimated length, which is 26.5 meters, which obviously double that is 53. But yeah. Then the new sail barge, I wish this was like out somewhere else. In fact, there is one over there, but yeah, because I just want to give you all the angles of this, because this is one of my favorite builds that I've done recently. Like, I like the level of detail on this is just crazy. Yeah, it's such a. I'm really proud of this model, basically. Like the sails, everything, even the bits underneath the sails that hold them up. The deck here is so like just over detailed almost. There's just so much going on with it. There is no interior, as you can see, but you can get this model now again in the end of the video. It's available to download. So yeah, it's just one of my favorite builds of all time, I'd say. I used to have, well, I still have the Lego model from 2006, I think, or 2005. Yeah, building this was just like building that set all over again, but just making it 10 times better. So yeah, really, really happy with that. And then Sandcrawler, 2-to-1, I'm probably going to remake. I do have some new references for the Sandcrawler, so yeah, probably going to end up a little bit thinner than what it is here. And then moving on to the 1-to-50 and 1-to-10 stuff, nothing new into the 1-to-50 section. Someone did point out that the ISD model is actually different from the one that was in the tutorial, so maybe I do need to remake that. But yeah, I don't think it's too different. I think it was just a case of getting rid of most of these trapdoors, but I'll investigate further. The rest is fine though. The Acclimator still hasn't been done, but it's such a simple build. Maybe I will do it at some point. Tanta V4, fine. The this is the new size as well, the 126 meters. Consular frigate, probably needs remaking before I do anything with that. The Raider is fine, the Pelter is fine. Did just get some new references from the lovely Raven Deviant for the Pelter, so I might even tackle that in 1-to-1 to go alongside the Quasar. Nebula is fine, the Arquitans, this model's fine, this one isn't, because they changed the size of just this one, but not that one. And maybe I will do the Moff Gideon's version at some point as well. Quasar we did recently in 1-to-10, the Acclimator we did a while ago, the Venator we did a while ago, and the Imperial model here, and then the Star Destroyer obviously, which again, Star Destroyer, go to the end of the video where I make my announcement, because you can get this as an instant downloadable schematic, with a catch I guess. 1-to-100 ISD there, and then the Lucre Hulks again. I'm working on a 1-to-50 Lucre Hulk as well, but we'll show that later. And then the Death Star 1-to-5000 scale. This is the model that actually works, which I'll not show off, but because it takes a while. But this is the one we'll do in a tutorial, which I just have to prepare myself, because it's going to be, despite the fact it's a sphere, it's going to be quite difficult because of all the details. So yeah. And then the 1-to-1000 scale Death Star as well. So literally that massive ball there, stack 1,000 of them, and you've got the actual size of the Death Star. But you have to stack them in every direction. So stack them that way, stack them up, stack them right, and then yeah, that's your Death Star. So I'm gonna go now to the Halo section, which is all the way over here. In fact, I'm gonna take a quick jump cut, have a quick drink, otherwise I'm gonna run out of breath, because I've been talking quite a lot. And we will be back in a second. I'm just going to end this clip right about here. So now let's move on to the Halo. I don't know why that's not loading. There we go. To the Halo section. Right, so moving on to the Halo section now. You can already see something rather huge in the background. Which, if this was 2015 or whenever it was that I did the original video, I would recreate that roleplay thing I did where I had my firebase and I showed off the Halo 2 Scarab basically. But now it's finally time to remake that and actually do it as a tutorial this time. So UNSC stuff 1-to-1, Mantis is still the same. I wouldn't say it's an amazing build by any means, but yeah. And then we have the Jackrabbit 1-to-1, just a simple little thing really. Not sure if it's even worth a tutorial, to be fair. Warthog 1-to-1, we haven't done a tutorial on this. I don't know if it will. Again, it's such a simple little thing. Smaller than all the ones I used to do back in the original series. Which is a shame, to be fair, because it looks a bit goofy. And then a Spade, probably due a remake for this one, to be fair. Scorpion, I've got the green model and the original grey model as well I added, which is kind of like a throwback to the very first tutorial I did on the channel, but obviously a modern version of it. Hornet is still the same. I think we've done a tutorial on this, I'm guessing, since there's a green thing here. That's what the green markings mean, by the way, on any of the tutorial pads, is that one's been tutorial, this one has. Gremlin, just a nice little build really, but I mean, who wants to see the Gremlin, let's be honest. The Mastodon, which is a Halo Wars 2 vehicle, does have the impression of an inside. The carpets keep falling off. They're meant to be covered in grey carpets there, but yeah, at least you've got the inside. Access, you can get in through the back as well, but it's so left like crouch and jump. I don't know. I can't even get in there now, but no well. Falcon, I'm probably going to remake this. Obviously, since I've done 2-to-1, I can probably go back and make this a bit better. Hawk, still a pretty nice build. This particular model is actually based on the concept art of the Hawk. Now, when I do the 2-to-1 model, I am going to make that one based on the in-game version of the Hawk, so we'll see how different they end up. The Halo Wars Elephant as well, just a pretty decent looking build, and yeah, it'd be nice to make that eventually. The Darter, so we did the Darter a long time ago as part of the Firebase series. This is a standalone model of it based on the dimensions, which is like 20 something meters, I think. And it's pretty nice. The old one was a lot bigger. This one is just a bit simpler, a bit, well, not simpler, but a bit smaller. Definitely not simpler. But it's still, you know, a respectable model. And we have the Halo 3 elephant here as well, so you can kind of, if you ever played Halo 3, you can compare the sizes of a lot of these things to the size of the elephant, because obviously we run around a lot on the elephant in Sand Trap. We've got the control panel here, we've got the turret here as well. And yeah, lots of memories on the elephant in Halo 3. Definitely be interesting to see a 2-to-1 model of this at some point in the future, just to get even more detail in there. Obviously, you'll lose that size realism, but you know, it'll be interesting to see the detail on that. The Pelican. So we did the Reach model, which is this one. I know the Reach model isn't grey, but it's closer to grey than it is to like pure green, I'd say. So that's why I did it in this color scheme. And then we've got the Halo Infinite Pelican here as well, which has the kind of separation between the cockpit and the, or I guess it's like an airlock basically, between the cockpit and the rear section here. No seats on this because I don't know why, but the Halo Infinite Pelican's interior looks absolutely ginormous. And so it wouldn't fit in the actual model. It's not a TARDIS. So the C712 longsword, which is the kind of younger brother, I guess, of this one, was seen in Halo 3 and onwards. No room for an interior on this. I know like this one had the steps upwards and the cockpit and everything, but this just does not have the room. It's even stated on the Halopedia that it wouldn't be big enough to fit a single Spartan. So yeah, no chance. But it's just a nice display model. I suppose you're one of these like parked up or something, you could add landing gear. So yeah, could make a nice little UNSC base. But we do have the 2-to-1 model as well, which is packed full of detail. And we'll get to that later. The Vulture, same as before really, no changes here. I would be interested to see a 2-to-1 of this. I think it could be absolutely insane. The Albatross, which we've only ever really seen crashed in Halo 2 on Relic and Halo 3 on Sand Trap. You normally have it kind of like poking out with this kind of angle, and then the sand sort of like around the front of it. But it's a lot bigger than you'd expect. It's bigger than a Pelican, bigger than the Vulture, bigger than the Longsword even. But yeah, you'd have like a missile pod or a grav hammer in the bottom of it there. I do think the size of it here doesn't really match what's in Halo 3. I just feel like, well, I know it from Halo 3, so in Halo 3, Halo 2. But yeah, I just feel like it's a bit bigger than what it appears in the game. But I'm just going off what the canon measurements say. And then the C709 longsword, same as before. I am making a 2-to-1 model of this for some reason. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Still one of my favourite builds. I do wish the texturing like around here was a bit better, but nothing really I can do about that in a minute. Then the 2-to-1 UNSC stuff, a bit more limited, but I am working on it. I mean, there was only 4 builds here before, now there's 7, so, or in fact 8, so I have, you know, doubled that. The Mantis, again, in the Oni colour scheme here and the normal colour scheme at the back. We did the, I think we did the Oni one as the tutorial actually. Jackrabbit 2-to-1 a bit more substantial, so definitely worth a tutorial. The Wasp we've done. M9 Wolverine, done so many Wolverines over the years. That first one was iconic. Go back to the saw my videos from oldest to newest and click on the first Wolverine tutorial you see, and it was yeah, it was a blob basically. This one a fair bit taller, so this is based on the actual in-game model, and it's come out a fair bit taller than the Wolverines usually do. So Scorpion gonna get remade. I do like the model. It has been updated since the tutorial with the waxed slabs. In fact, I think it was one of the first builds that I actually updated with the waxed materials. But proportion wise, it is due an update. Hornet, we did this recently. It's you know, a pretty nice build. Same with the Falcon. And then the C712 longsword is available for download now. Again, skip to the end of the video for the link for that. And yeah, this is just one of my favourite builds that I've done for the Halo series on the UNSC side for a while. Just so sleek. I'm working on some more jet black UNSC build, which we will see later on at the shipyards. Covenant 1-to-1. We've got kind of like a weird jump in sizes here, but we'll go through them 1-to-1. 1-by-1, sorry. The Ghost, always messing with this to try and make it look good. Never really works. I still think that original Ghost back at the start of the Halo series is like the prime Ghost model, because while it's not like shape accurate, it's just so cute. And same with the Chopper really, but this one's a little bit more substantial than the Ghost there. Yeah, it's decent. It works for what it is. The Banshee needs an update. So I think size-wise, I've based it on the Halo Combat Evolved model, which is there, but the actual colours and shapes are a bit more like the Halo 3 model. So yeah, I kind of need to decide which one I want to do. The Wraith, I think needs an update, because I think I made it too short. It should be about 4 meters tall. This is 3.5. So I could actually give myself a bit more room there. Because I think, yeah, I did the Banished Wraith over there, which we'll get to. That one is 4 blocks tall. So yeah, a bit too short. You got the AA Wraith as well, which I've added. But we did do this one here as a tutorial. It has been slightly updated since then, but yeah. This Shadow, pretty interesting thing. Not 100% happy with how the wings have come out, but that was just how it ended up with the constraints of working at 1-to-1. I'm doing a 2-to-1 Shadow. I think that one's going to be a bit more appealing though. Vampire, interested to see how 2-to-1 of this turns out, because the 1-to-1 is pretty nice, but the 2-to-1 vampires have never really come out looking nice, just because of the amount of slabs and stuff. The Seraph we've done, the Spirit is available, or in fact no it's not, but it was featured in Crafty Fox's MC Military Force video, so make sure to go check that out. I did share it on my community page. He does a big video of showcasing a lot of my builds, which is really nice. And then we move on to the Halo 2 Scarab, one of the most difficult builds I've ever made. Just because like the shape of the legs here is so stupid, like really ridiculous. I don't know why I didn't just, because I was using a Blender model for this. I don't know why I didn't just rotate the legs to be like a 45-degree angle, so then at least when you're building like straight on, you can do it the same on the left and right. Whereas this is not symmetrical in any angle whatsoever. So like you look at it just like this and it looks fine, but then when you get up close, you can just see there's like no method to this. It's just completely like just terrifying. I have actually took this to the tutorial pad world and I have started to break it down into layers. So that's exciting news for the people who actually want to do this as a build, because I am going to make it and it's going to be scary. I do want to add in the video though an open faced version of it, so where it's actually firing its heavy focus beam, and there is a full interior as well. It's just like such deja vu walking down this ramp as I did like 8 years ago. I was saying this, I was about here when I said this model was requested by a long-time subscriber called the Darksider. So this build's for him, and I just went around like here or something, showed the interior off. Yeah, the exact same thing, but yeah, this interior is nice. I like it. It's based on a mixture of the classic and the Halo 2 Anniversary. I didn't really know which to go for. Like the actual exterior is very much Halo 2, but the interior is a bit more Halo 2 Anniversary. You've got that kind of like grey, but with a slight pearlescent sort of purple shine to it, which is why we've got like the light blue terracotta there. If you really want to, when you actually make this, you can go with like a full silver colour scheme, so you're just using the stone, or if you want to use the clay as well, that could work. But I think this works fairly nicely, and especially in shade as it blends together a bit more, but I still think this is quite nice. You've got the turrets on the top as well, and on the back. So yeah, Halo 2 Scarab, very exciting, and again, you can actually get this right now. Please check the link at the end of the video. The Ghost in 2-to-1, chunky boy. Yeah, not sure how I feel about it, to be fair. Chopper 2-to-1, really like this actually. We did the Banished one, which is based on this model. Obviously quite heavily modified, but yeah, it's still the same base model. The Prowler, think it looks really great. So we'll do that at some point. The Banshee, this is the Combat Evolved / Halo 2 Banshee, and then the open version. Problem with the open version is, if it's going to be like this, it would be all tilted backwards, where these grey bits are resting on the ground. I've kind of done it where it's flying like this, which isn't right. Although it is if you go off the Halo Combat Evolved cover art, where it was mistakenly put like this. The Revenant we did recently, this is a Halo Reach Banshee, quite a bit bigger than the standard one. Didn't realise that, but yeah, that's the Reach one with the green sheen on the front, and then the Halo 4 one. If it was up to me, it'd be a lot darker, like using a dark blue slab, but we don't have that, so yeah. And then the Space Banshee is just the Reach Banshee, but modified, so the cockpit is pretty much the same, but with a different colour, the sheen, and then the wings obviously completely different thrusters at the back and different cannons at the front. But, like I said, still based on the same base model. 1-to-1 Banished, this was a very limited category before, still kind of is. We still have that Banished Ghost here, but then we've got the Banished Wraith, which I think looks quite nice. And that's in 1-to-1, and this is the Halo Wars 2 version, so not the Halo Infinite model. And then the Banished Phantom, very, very tricky build to pull off, but I think this has come out like the best it could possibly be. One of my favourite builds of this year by far. No interior for this, because we never saw the interior for this model, with it being in Halo Wars 2. Gigantic cannon on the bottom. Fun fact, this is just the cannon they use on the Banished Marauder, but a lot larger. So obviously this is 1-to-1, and this is the size of the cannon. This is 2-to-1, and this is the size of the cannon. So yeah, imagine the Marauder in 1-to-1, and then compare the size of the cannons. It literally is the same thing. It's even got the handles at the bottom where the Brute would hold onto it, on the Phantom model, which just doesn't make sense. But yeah, same turret, enlarge. You learn a lot about things when you take the in-game models and put them into Blender. Another thing about this actually in Blender, fun fact that probably no one cares about, but you can see like the base Phantom model, the Covenant one under here, like these grey bits, actually does lead all the way under these red bits here, and it carries on around. It does cut off about there, but you can see the Covenant model is still like under there somewhere. Which I just thought was really interesting. It's clear that they've like taken the FPS model, I think, and then changed the level of detail on it, changed the file type, and then obviously gone out and modified it. I thought they would have just made a model from scratch, but the fact that the Covenant one is under there is just kind of weird. So yeah, Banished Ghost we've done, Chopper done, Banshee done. We'll need to do the Halo Wars 2 Banshee as well. Same with the Halo Wars 2 Chopper and Ghost as well, actually. Banished Wraith from Infinite has been done, but we haven't done the Halo Wars 2 Wraith yet in 2-to-1, nor have we done the, I want to say, fantastic looking Marauder. This, I don't know why I worked so hard on this one, but yeah, it came out just really good. Really like how it came out. Again, you learn a lot of things about these builds. So like, I thought that the Banished Marauder used these two bits here as like engines at the front, and that they were like sort of on the ground, and that twisting them would propel the vehicle. But there's actually like a whole section underneath those which they sit on, and they rotate on this section, and it's sort of like a flat grey section at the bottom here, but then it also builds up towards the back and joins into those engines. Very tricky stuff to do when you don't really know the in-game model. But yeah, I think it came out crazy. And I have done a Marauder before. It's on my channel somewhere, so you can just compare them. Anyway, 1-to-10 Halo stuff. Nothing on the Covenant side yet. I don't know where I'm going to put the Banished stuff actually, because I don't have a spot for it. Might combine the Covenant and Banished stuff together, I don't know. But then we have the new, smallest frigate, the Mulsanne from Halo Infinite, which is packed full of detail. It does set a new standard for what the other frigates should be, so I'm going to go back and probably update these as well. The Paris I might leave the same, maybe a few texture updates, but the other two definitely need a bit more work. But yeah, Mulsanne just really highlights the weird proportions of the Infinite frigate, like the gigantic bridge section compared to the others. So yeah, and the spindly engine things, which none of the others have. So yeah, that's it for the 1-to-10 Halo stuff. 1 to 100 Halo stuff. We've got the Banished Dreadnought looking really, really nice. And that came out really well. The CAS, the new remake of this, is looking scarily good. Lots and lots and lots of detail. Got the section on the back here. We've got the section at the front here as well. The hook. And then the 100 scale Infinity, which we did the tutorial on. So that's going to be it for the Halo section. Let's now move on to the Shipyards, where we can see some of the work in progress stuff that I've got going on. So yeah, let's go back to the start, and then I'm going to move on to that just now. Right, so this is the Shipyards, where I keep all my work in progress stuff for both Halo and Star Wars. Halo is on the right, and Star Wars, and a bit of Star Trek actually, is on the left. So we'll start with Star Wars stuff, just things that work in progress. Again, please don't take any of this as like final. Any builds you see are subject to change, and some are even going to be gone. Like this one here, I don't think is going to stay, because it just didn't work out the way I wanted. The C-Rock Gazanti is in the early days of work in progress. The engines are pretty much done, but that's about it. Everything else is an outline. The Gauntlet, or the Comrook Starfighter. I think this one is wrong anyway, because I think I've done the 68 meter long measurement. However, I've done the front end of the 52 meter long one, so obviously it's already the wrong model. But I am going to probably restart this as the live action version, and then because that one I think is only like 32 meters. It has been estimated that that is the size of the live action one. But then yeah, I'll probably go back and do the other gauntlets properly as well in the different sizes, just not anytime soon. ATM-6, this has been around for ages, but I am just slowly chipping away at it. Need to do the cannon, need to finish off the face, and then fill in these gaps here, and then do the underside, which I hate doing the underside of the ATM-6. So yeah. The Theta class, obviously very early days, never got further than this. Probably will restart this as well. Sandcrawler, done a bit of work on it. Just needs obviously a bit of commitment, which, you know, I'll get there. I need to do a Sandcrawler because I've never done one. This is the landed Eta 2, so I had been working on this. I'm not 100% happy with it at the minute. But yeah, I need to add detail on the wings and stuff. But then yeah, we'll get there, and we'll do it as a tutorial at some point. The Bad Batch shuttle, I got this far and then sort of got bored of it. But I will try and keep coming back to it. The size is just estimated because I don't think we've had a cannon size of it yet. But I essentially put a cutout of like Wrecker, I think, next to it, and then compared it to the show, and then like resized it based on that. It was very much estimated, and that's actually all the 1-to-1 stuff I've got as a work in progress. 2-to-1 is a different story. There's a lot of that. So the TIE Reaper, I did most of it. Just needed to like finish off the side detail here. Obviously do a lot of top texturing. The wings like are fine as they are. They're like fully detailed. It's just that body section. But then Raven Deviant came out with a orthographic of the ship, which is a bit more in depth than the one I was using before, so I don't know if I should restart. I'm just not sure. The UT-80, keep chipping away at this. Actually recently added the cockpit section. It's just really awkward build, to be fair, because none of the angles, well, none of the shapes and sizes are lining up. So like everything on this build is measuring out at like 4 blocks wide down the center, which I can't do. So like the cockpit area, the entire thing is meant to be 2 blocks wide, but I can't do that when the build is a even number of blocks wide. So then I have to like approximate using the walls, and then that brings out like a load more problems. So it's just, yeah, a bit of a hassle. And there's like meant to be a gap here that's meant to be 4 blocks wide, but obviously again, even number of blocks wide. So how are you going to do 4 blocks? Resistance Y-Wing, could probably like knock this out in a day. I just need to, you know, nail down and do it. The Maxillipede shuttle, the orthographic I was using, I realised wasn't very accurate, so I am trying to like estimate it now. But it's hard work, to be fair. I keep saying to be fair a lot, I'm sorry. But to be honest, it's rather hard work, and it's not exactly a well-known thing, so I'm not sure if I should keep it. Lucre Hulk, this is the 1:50, I believe, model. Yes, I think that's right. Needs a bit of detail around the circle area, needs this like connecting arm finishing off. There's like some bits that also connect around there. Obviously all this area needs detailing. The equipment on the back, the engines are pretty much done. Need to detail the back wall there as well. But yeah, it's just one of those where I need like a day to just nail down and do it. Millennium Falcon, same scenario really. Like most of the shapes are there. Like this bit's pretty much done. You got all your side detail done here already, which is nice. Obviously you need the hyperdrive section, and then the vents on top. You need the this bit filling in and stuff with all the detail. And yeah, just details all over really. Obviously I want to go all out again with it being, you know, like one of the most iconic Star Wars ships. And we will make an interior again. I'm gonna try and make the tutorial process a bit simpler. I don't want to have it being 6 hours again for such a small build. So I'm gonna try and do it a bit different. Try and get it down to like 4 hours. MTT, just I don't want to talk about it. This build has been plaguing me for years. I've made like 4 separate models of it, and none of them have ever really worked out. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know. I'm probably going to abandon this one and start again once more. But you know, we'll see what happens. Juggernaut, the body, everything is fine. Like this top section just needs a few more details, like the rockets here and stuff. But then it's just this bottom section that's plaguing me. The wheels look really, really great. Obviously, massive improvement on the last model. I might even do a tutorial on it if I ever finish it. So yeah, this is the new class shuttle, but I think this is based on the longer measurement that I proposed, the like 24, 25 meters. But obviously got this far, and then I just went, why am I bothering? So yeah, I stopped with that. Eater shuttle, obviously this one's not as far along as the 1-ton model. Haven't really done any detail on the top wing, and haven't done the bottom wings either, but the body and the head are pretty much, you know, done. This is the 2-to-1 Gazanti, but the Mandalorian version. Lots of interesting shapes on this one. I am fully intending on going back and doing more of this. We'll just have to, you know, again, crack down and get it done. LAATC, again, quite close to being finished. Need to do the underside wing detail, need to do the connecting part for the legs. But then after that, it's mainly just detailing and finish off this cockpit area. T6 shuttle, probably going to abandon this one and get rid of it, because wasn't ever really happy with how the wing looks. And just the amount of like walls on it is just stupid. So I'm probably going to redo the 2-to-1, but as the live action or updated animated version of the ship, because this one's just too boring and too flat. And then this was the ATM-6, but I found a new reference, which is like the perfect reference. It's the 3D model that's ripped from Battlefront 2. So, you know, I'm pretty much, as a student would say, quids in. I'm quids in with that build. So I'm gonna restart that, try and commit to it. Try and commit to the 2-to-1 ATM-6, get it done, get a tutorial out there, because that video is one of my most popular ones, and I would like to remake it, do it better. Maybe make another crate map, if anyone remembers that from like 2017, 2018. Yeah, feels like years ago. It was years ago. It feels like decades ago, I should say. And then for Star Wars, and also a single Star Trek build there, which I don't know why it's here. I'll just go over some of the larger ones. A lot of these are very, very early days. So like the Arquitan's command cruiser size changed to be 230 meters instead of 325, so that's what I'm working on here. Again, just start the primary marker now. The Raider class, I do keep coming back to this every few months and adding a bit more. But yeah, it's, you know, it's just one of those that I'm not hugely fussed about it. I would rather actually make the Republic, is it Resistance? Yeah, or Rebel version of it, where it's got the got rid of the solar panels on the side and it's more wrapped around and stuff and recolored. I'd like to make that one. This might be the Tantive 4. I can't remember, but I think I restarted because I found a better model. And then this is the Consular, the 115 meter one I was talking about. It does feel like a lot smaller than the 138 meter one. Like the engines are a lot smaller. The body's going to be a lot smaller as well. So it'd be an easy tutorial for sure. The Sith Interceptor, I think it's called. I got to a certain point with this, and then I just got bored of all the wing detailing, so I stopped building it. But I might come back to it, I might restart, I'm not sure. But it is one I'd like to build. I know Lego did a set of it a while ago, so I don't know. The Enterprise, I don't need to restart this, I just need to, again, dedicate like a day, finish off this round detailing on the bottom pod here, finish off the wing connector. I don't know the names, I know each thing has a specific name. I think these are called nacelles, I don't know how to say it, Nacilles. I think that's what those are. But again, sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. Like you can see here, I've done all the round bits. I just need to like carry on that pattern all the way to the front and then start adding details and stuff. I just don't have enough hours in the day, basically. Pelter, again, I think I mentioned this earlier. Raven Deviant made a Pelter orthographic for the Home one, which I'm probably gonna remake this using that because it's a bit more accurate than the one I was using before. And yeah, I only got, you know, to a certain point with it anyway, so yeah, well. 1 to 10 Lucre Hulk, sort of was just like a proof of concept really for this one. Did like do a bit of the engines, but not sure how far I'm going to take this. Maybe if I finish a few other things, I'll come back and do this. 1-to-1 Venator, I've restarted this project more times than I can remember. I do intend on making one, like the entire process at some point. Just with all the other things I have going on, just don't really have the time to focus on it at the minute. 1 to 10 Resurgent, I got quite far like at the front with this one. Like this front bit is pretty much done with the actual block out stage, not detail but block out at least. And then got this far and yeah, kind of got sidetracked with other stuff. I think I went back to the Halo stuff for a while, but I fully intend on coming back to it. Like I'm confident that all the proportions are still fine, so there's no reason I can't just pick it back up when I feel like it. 1 to 100 Executor, gigantic thing. Just needs like all the paneling finished really, and then the city section in the middle. Already got the ISD bridge right there, so yeah, we'll do that. And then the Interdictor, I can't remember the specific. Is it the? I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but yeah, it's the one from Rebels. And I was working on this, and I do intend on coming back to it. Once again, I'm confident that the proportions are still as accurate as needs be. So yeah. Right, so that's it for the big ships and large projects for the Star Wars and a bit Star Trek. Let's go to the Halo stuff, which I have got quite a few Halo projects ongoing as well. Some of them rather exciting, some of them stuff we've not seen in many years being remade, so we'll have a look over there. So, the raids from the 2-to-1 Covenant side, I brought them here because I wanted to redo the turrets, and I kept ignoring them when they were in the other world, so I brought them here to try and get that motivation. So yeah, that's pretty much done. Like this base model here is like for all intents and purposes done. This one just needs, like I said, the turret added. I thought I'd just point that out before we start with the 1-to-1 stuff. Blisterback, one that people have been asking for a very, very long time, and I've made many models of it. This is the 1-to-1 model, which is a lot smaller than any other that I've ever made. Just needs the head finishing off basically, and then the colour scheme added. So it is very close to being done. These legs were difficult. Again, it was sort of like the Halo 2 Scarab, where they're just at stupid angles. With this one, I did kind of cheat. Like, this is the same leg design, but copied to there, and then flipped and copied to here. But I think it works absolutely fine for what it is. I don't think there's any need to overcomplicate it any more than that. But I definitely will overcomplicate it on the 2-to-1 model, which is actually over there. The Phantoms, I've got 3 extra Phantoms planned, or 4 maybe. So we had the banished Halo Wars 2 Phantom that we've already seen. We have the Halo 2 Phantom, which I'm going to separate the Halo 2 and the Halo 3 /Reach/4 Phantom, which is going to be this one. So the Halo 2 Phantom is going to have the extra side guns, no side doors, and the grav lift. And the shape of it is different anyway. It's a different model from the Halo 3 one. It's got like the flat engines, whereas the Halo 3 one has the kind of hooks on them. The Halo 3 one's obviously going to have the grav lift and the side doors open and the side turrets on the doors. Obviously a lot smoother in the shape anyway. And then I'm also going to do the Halo Infinite Banished Phantom and the Halo Reach Phantom Gunboat, which is bigger, but is based on this design, and has like a load of extra armor and stuff. So yeah, there'll be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Phantom models by the time we're done. I don't think there's any others that I really want to make. Could make the Separatist Phantom if you take this one and change everything green, but yeah. Scarab from Halo 3. Got to a certain point with this. I still keep doing bits, like I added this walkway here, just as like a block out phase of it. But yeah, still a long while to go, and I'm not looking forward to doing the legs. The Covenant Tick. This was seen in Halo 2. In Halo 2 Anniversary. This specific one is the Halo 2 model. But yeah, you've got obviously the tube hallway, which will be nice. It'll lead probably nowhere. I don't plan on doing an interior for it because we never saw an interior in Halo 2. And I'll probably block off this bit with like a glass wall or something to represent the energy shield. But yeah, this is what hijacked the Cairo station and the other Mac platforms. The side wing bits here are quite tricky to do. I think the middle bits can be a bit trickier as well, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. Mammoth remake, did a bit more on this recently. It's looking alright. Just kind of dreading, the tutorial for this one. Yeah, it's a long build process. Obviously, the 343 stuff's a bit more complicated with the build styles. So yeah, the civilian transport ship. Very early days of this, done like the pods on the bottom. I'm guessing these are like cargo containers. But yeah, it's again one of those things that you kind of just nail down and do in like a day. And this is the I can't remember the name of it, but it was seen on a Halo 4 map. And for a while, people thought it was the Data from Halo Wars, but it's not. It's a different ship that I can't remember the name of. But yeah, it's a decent looking ship. Again, it's just a 343 model, so it's quite complicated, but I'll keep doing some work on it. 2-to-1 stuff, we'll start back at the start over here. Pelican, obviously done like the silhouette of it from the side. Obviously now it's just a case of translating that to be 3D aspects, so like wrapping this window around, things like that. Long way to go with it, don't see it being done anytime soon. The Spirit, we're actually pretty much there. We just need to do this on the side bit here. So again, probably do that within a few hours. Just a case of nailing down really. Blister back we've already mentioned. Very early days for this one, but the level of detail should be pretty massive compared to the 1-to-1. And then this is the Scorpion remake. Obviously we saw this Scorpion model in the 2-to-1 world. This one is going to be the remake. Kind of about halfway there now. So the treads, you can see like the level of detail at the minute. Very similar actually, but the shape wise it's just going to be a lot more accurate. This is the only, well, 2 non 2-to-1 builds here. The 1-to-10 Analase class frigate, which is a little one, and then the Strident class is going to be here. The 2-to-1 shadow, a little bit more accurate than the 1-to-1. Obviously, fairly early days, but I only started it recently, so yeah. And then this is a interesting one, very interesting. This is the UNSC Wombat, or only Wombat, I don't know. They've seen a Halo 3 ODST and Halo 3 technically as concept art. Did a Wombat a long time ago, close to when I was actually thinking about finishing the original Halo series. I did a Wombat. This is again very early days, but I think it's going to be a massive, massive improvement, a complete overhaul of the original, and it's about 3 times the length as well. So yeah, and this is in 2-to-1. It's actually a massive unmanned drone. It's really big, like compared to the Shadow even. So, and this is the 2-to-1 longsword, the C709 model specifically. Just one of those that I doubt this is going to be a tutorial, but I might release it as a download. Just kind of pushing the limits of what you can do in terms of detail, really. Like, it's just going to be pretty crazy. And then big stuff for Halo, a lot more limited than the Star Wars stuff, but we've got the new Sharon, I never know how to say it, class frigate. Level of detail has just been ramped up. Some of the proportions are better. The proportions on the original weren't awful, but they weren't fantastic either. But then, like, things like this used to just be tiny little quartz triangles. Now they're like fully fleshed out with details and everything. And yeah, the color scheme's completely switched from the standard cyan to this sort of grey material here. That's going to be the base color. The cyan is like lighter sections, and then even lighter is going to be the polished andesite and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of planning into the color scheme of this one, but I think it's going to look really good. Gives off a completely different vibe to the Stalwart class, though. This is based heavily on the Halo 2 Anniversary cutscene model, which is like 10 times more detailed as the actual in-game model, which even then is about 10 times more detailed than the Halo 2 model. So you've got like these random pipes that are on top of the hangar areas. You've got like floodlights all over. You've got weird hook things here. You've got letters all over the side of the hull section. You've got just lights everywhere, red lights. You've got these barriers to stop people falling off when they're up there on the top of the ship for some reason. So yeah, there's just a lot going on. Asymmetrical cockpit, obviously. And then the stage I'm at with this build is I need to do like the top side detail here, some detail on this side here, finish off the detail down there, and then finish off the hangar, and all this back section really just needs completely like detailing up. But the shapes for the most part are done. Like, I don't think there's much more actual building that needs doing. And then this is going to be a 1:10 scale Infinity. So obviously these ships here are 1:1. This is 1:10, so you can just see how massive the Infinity is. Yeah, that's like the main engine there. So imagine, obviously that's half of the engine, wrap that around, and then times it by 10, that's the size of the Infinity engine in real scale. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for the Halo stuff. Just obviously a lot going on, but pretty exciting stuff on the horizon. So yeah, we're going to take a quick jump cut now. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you. Oh, I have made like an additional section on the on this world, by the way. I've made like a weird waterworks thing that leads around to where you can see the tutorials that are in progress. So like when this world is accessible, finally, when I do make the server live, which I've been talking about for a long time, this is where you'll be able to see everything going on. But yeah, again, a while away. Yeah, so we'll jump cut now, either to another world, or I will do the announcement for the thing I wanted to talk about. We'll see. I don't think I've really done any more work on any other worlds, so yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next section. Okay, so I'm proud to announce that I have officially started my replacement for my Patreon, which is the Elcestrus store. A very simple name. This is hosted on Sellfy, and that's Sellfy, by the way. Link will be in the description and going forwards in every description as well. This is where you can get instantly downloadable schematics. I feel like this is a massive increase in like return on investment instead of Patreon. Obviously, then I was giving out, you know, specific builds that people might not want for a subscription cost, which you might not want to subscribe. You might just want a one-off build. Why would you want to subscribe for it? So I've decided to add these as kind of like a, like I said, a replacement for the Patreon, where you can just download things straight away, things that have been done as tutorials, like the Star Destroyer here, or the Razor Crest. Very, very fair prices, I think, for like the Razor Crest and things like that. I've got a discount on at the minute, which I'm probably going to or extend to probably about the 5th of next month. So make sure to snatch it up if you want some of these things. Completely instant downloads. Once the purchase goes through, you can simply just download the model as a schematic, put it into your world, put it into a server. I don't mind either way. The only rule I still ask is that you don't claim that the build is yours. I do appreciate if you do credit. You can see all the terms here, like disclaimers. So like I put, unlike in the tutorial videos, credit is not required if you're using on a single player map or a server or for other private uses, but just add a credit if you're uploading the video with the build in. And I'd appreciate not doing a tutorial on these models purely because that's like the main thing. And yeah, don't redistribute the models. Like, don't send the schematics files to other people, because if I find out about that, I will just not allow any other builds to be given out. But yeah, you got stuff that hasn't been released and won't be for a while, like the Airborne Hawk. I don't know why I said it like that. That was really weird. The Banished Phantom, the Mulsanne class frigate. The Slave one, as I said earlier, like the Jango Fett's models are available on the schematic archive, whereas the Boba Fett's models are available here, so that you don't even have to follow the tutorial. It's just like simple stuff. How do I go back? Oh, there we go. The Consular, things like this. Obviously, all your Star Wars stuff. The Katana here as well. And yeah, pretty awesome stuff. You see this little plus symbol? I'm probably going to remove this, but you can pay the $9.99, which is the base fee, or you can add like your own cost above $9.99. So if you wanted to donate a penny, you just do £10. Can't type it. There we go. Never mind. You do £10. 10. There we go. Add to cart. Simple checkout, just like this. Da 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 da. I won't show my payment information or my email, but yeah, there we go. Simple, easy stuff. And yeah, the Scarab as well. Get the Scarab. So that's my announcement, really. Like I said, I stopped the Patreon a couple of months ago, and I know a lot of people like the instant downloads. It just doesn't really like do anything for me, because I spend hours and hours making these models. Like, sometimes even weeks perfecting a model. And to just give it away is, I'll put it simply, not a very good business model. And just kind of a waste of time, really. And you know, things that are older than a specific time period, I think I've done like 4 years. Things that are older than that are going to go on the schematic archive completely for free. And I think I am going to combine the schematic archive with this website. You can see the link for it here. Nothing's in there yet, but all your older builds are going to be completely free and on there. So anything 4 years or older, so like even the 2019 Millennium Falcon's going to go on there completely free. And then once these things reach 4 years old, they'll become free. Because I think everyone should have access to it. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off. I probably won't plug it every video, but it will be in the description. Just so, obviously, if I do a big tutorial, you can say, well, I don't have time to follow this. Well, there's a solution. So yes, that's it from me, really. I'm going on holiday tomorrow, so I'm not going to do another video for 4 days, but I don't usually do that anyway. Normally it's about a week at the minute. I don't know why. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to Italy, so that'll be exciting. Might give me some build inspiration, I don't know. Right, thanks for watching my World Showcase. I don't have anything else to say. please go and visit the store if you want to purchase anything that you see. Some very, very good builds on there. Please do have a look. Yeah, anyway, goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video, which will be a tutorial. I just don't know what yet. So, yeah, see ya.